This morning or last night, I got full self-driving 12.3.4, and I thought I would go out and drive around a little bit and see the effect of a light rain on the degradation of full self-driving. You can see I'm taking and turning the little cameras on and off, and you can see that the back camera looks nice and clear right now, and as do the side cameras. Let's drive around a little bit and see if we have problems with that from the rain. Okay, you can see now that full self-driving is degraded. In a little while, I'll go ahead and pull off a little bit so we can see. If it's the back camera that's causing a problem. In general, I found that the full self-driving 12.3.3 worked really well. This is the first time I've used 12.3.4. It does say full self-driving may be degraded. It's a very light rain this morning. One of the things I found when we took a trip down south during the rain, this was in California going down to Pacific Grove from Santa Rosa, we did have a sign for full self-driving may be degraded. So I looked at the cameras, and I really found that of course, the windshield wipers are covering the front camera. I looked at the side view cameras, and they look pretty clear. I think that just the side wind on the side of the car was cleaning them. But when I looked at the back camera, of course, it was raining more heavily then, but the back camera, you could hardly see anything at all. It was very distorted, like looking through a Coke bottle. So we'll see. We don't have much water on the road this morning, so we'll see what effect it has on the rear camera this morning. I'll take a look at the rear camera right now. Yeah, you can see that the rear camera is getting kind of distorted. Water is accumulating on it. Just as we're driving along, there's hardly any rain coming down, but you can clearly see there's not much resolution of what we're seeing there. Getting heavily distorted. It's not nearly as clear as it is usually. At some point, you can see that really it's quite distorted now, although I've seen it worse. I'll put this down here so you can get a closer look at the distortion while we're at it. So as the water from the road winds up getting carried by the turbulence at the back of the vehicle, it covers that back lens and kind of leads to that distortion in the picture. So one thing occurred to me is that I wonder if we could clean that distortion off with a jet of compressed air. So I've set up a little jet on the back of the attached to the license plate, and I've got a Tesla air compressor for pumping up the tires connected to a tube that goes to that jet. So let's just see. I'll take it off full self-driving. And I'm just going to pull over here. And let's just see what happens if I turn that on. So that made it quite a bit clearer. You can see that right now. There's a little drop on there, but that made it quite a bit clearer. The side cameras appear to be doing really well. Even though there's some water being thrown up, it doesn't seem to bother them. In a heavy rain, I'm sure it would. But in this light rain, it's just the water coming off the road leads to the distortion of that back view. Okay, let me show you a little bit. I want to show you the air that we have up by the license plate. There's the rear camera. There's a little jet. There's a bracket that I 3D printed. And that just goes to an airline that's in the trunk. I'll show you. A little hard to see in here, but that airline just comes up. There's the Tesla air compressor. So I could use that air compressor to blow the droplets off of the rear camera. Okay, before I finish this video, let me show you how the air jet was printed up on a 3D printer. This is showing you the model in Autodesk Fusion 360, and you can see that it's I printed up a piece that would fit on the license plate, and you can see the little jet has an output of a very little rectangular place that the air comes out and then goes over the camera. This is a pretty crude device, but it basically gives us the idea that a little air jet can push the droplets of water off the camera and giving us better vision. I'm sure that the engineers at Tesla or other places could design something much more efficient. I've also heard that Tesla has on some of their cars a high pressure canister of air. I think it was used for adjusting levels in the ride for air suspension, but they certainly have that technology, and to be able to take some of the air from a canister like that under high pressure and blow off the rear camera during times when the road is wet would certainly be useful. Okay, at this point, I should probably stop, but I'm certainly not going to be using this on my Tesla. I just wanted to do an experiment, so I'll be taking it off. But maybe in the future, some of our Teslas will have something to keep the camera resolution high even when there's some rain going on. And that will help full self-driving, I'm sure.